Hello and welcome to everyone to English coaching class. I'm an English teacher, Shayyad Ashikur Rahman. Students, we had fun in our last class. Okay, means this is the summary discussion of the chapter, the fun they had of class 9 from the textbook Beehive, written by the writer Isaac. Isaac, not Newton. Okay, not Newton. So let's see who is that then. I hope you all remember the names, the right name of the writer, and the discussions I have done in the elaboration or line-wise explanation of the chapter. So today is a summary and question answer discussion. Some questions I'll be discussing, and again I'll give for homework too. Okay, so let's begin within a few minutes. Yes, students, here we are. The Fun They Had by Isaac Asimov. The author, the short story biographer. And let's know about this author. He's a short story biographer, scholar. Isaac Asimov was one of 20th century most prolific writer, writing in many genres. He was known for science fiction works like Foundation and I and Robot. So this man who involved himself with the writing of science fiction and science work. So you can see the scientist, okay, his craze to see the future and how the change can come up. Okay, so let's know about the scientist. Let's know about the writer first, then we will go into the introduction. Isaac Asimov immigrated with his family to the United States, become a biochemistry professor while pursuing writing. He published his first novel, Pebble in the Sky, in 1950. An immensely prolific author who penned nearly 500 books. He published influential science fiction works like I, or Robot, and the Foundation trilogy, as well as books in a variety of other genres. Asimov died in New York City on April 6, 1992. The, uh, the Fun They Had is one of the most popular fictional works written by him. So this is one of the popular fictional one. So that he has connected to future, that he has been thinking about the future, how future can be updated, how if it is updated, what how the things is going to come in the upcoming days. So let's look into the introduction. So I have discussed the introduction in the introduction class, but again, it's a recapitulation session. I am just recapitulating it. It's a summary, recapitulation, a rediscussion, whatever we can say. But मैं हूं फिर दोबारा discuss करने के. The story is set in future when books and schools as we have now perhaps will not exist. Okay, so the story is set in the future. Okay, in the future when books and schools as we have now perhaps will not exist. Two students of that period, about 150 years advanced from today, find a printout book. And from today, 150 years advanced. They are surprised very much. They talk about the schools and books of the old period. They compare those schools with those of their own, which are situated in their homes and have mechanical teacher to teach them. Okay, they have the mechanical teacher. You can understand mechanical teacher here refers to the robots, and they are there in the home or with them with the instructors to teach them. They find their own school. They find their own school. Okay, they find their own schools dull and boring. They think that it was great fun to study in the schools of old times when all the kids of the area went there to learn the thing. Okay, so the same thing that you can see here, what we have discussed in the discussion of the chapter. They find their own school dull and boring. Their school seems to be very dull and boring. There's no enjoyment, and They think that it was great fun to study in the school of old times when all the kids of the area went there to learn the same thing by a man teacher. Okay, so they imagine in the past when the teacher will be teaching in a school, and there will be all the students present and they'll be learning in a classroom. So, and they started imagination. This is an introductory idea I've already shared in my first video, saying let's come to the discussion of the plot. Okay, so it has been set in the year 2157, is 2157 year, and we are in the current era 2021, when every child has his own machine teacher, and school like today we do not exist anymore. Means you can see, in due to the pandemic, we are able to witness the online sessions and online classes, so due to which you can see the little bit change the teaching and learning process. But in by 2157, and the system will be totally different, where machines will be there to teach to the students. The students won't be going to the school, and school will be there set up in the school, house itself. The students won't be allowed to move to the different locality. They will be with in a specific area where they all can be together. Means everything can be done in one place. Okay, the Asimov wrote the story in 1951. Okay, students, remember it, in the year 1951, for a syndicated newspaper page. Later, the fun they had was published in the fantasy and science fiction magazine, and the same has been published in the science fiction magazine too. Okay, so this is a little bit about the plot and what happened in it. Let's look into it. In the year 2157, the 13-year-old boy Tommy finds an old book. He and Margie, who is 11, find it strange that the words on paper do not move have after having been read. So after being reading, they can learn, they can understand it is constant, it is fixed, it is not moving as it is moving in the screens of the computer. Nowadays, they only read stories on the computer. The book is about about school centuries ago. It is a centuries ago. It's a long days back, and in the present day, as per them, the book does not exist. Marge is very surprised that in the past, pupils had a person as a teacher, and that all children at this of the same age learned the same thing and went to a school house with other children. So they learn that, they understand that in the past days, the people used to go, students used to go to school, and they have a teacher who will be teaching to the in a group, not individually. Margie wants to read more of the book, but first she has to learn with her machine teacher, whose level is to advance for, and she thinks school is those in those days was much better than today. Ultimately, the theme is to understand the importance of the present time, lively school atmosphere in which we keep on finding faults over nothing. Okay, so what happens? So ultimately, the theme is to understand. Here, the theme of the chapter is to make us understand the importance of the present day, present time, lively school atmosphere. How the lively system we have, the where the students you can learn live, in which we keep finding faults over nothing. We keep finding fault. This is wrong. This is right. We pinpoint toward the system of schools. Okay, but a time will come. The existence in the system of schools will be changing. Okay, so that has been highlighted by the writer here, Isaac Asimov. Okay, he has identified the system here. Understood, all of you? I hope the things are getting clear. Now let us understand the significance of the title. What does the title suggest to us? Just all you students, you may get the question, justify the title of the chapter. Okay, this is absolutely an appropriate title, as necessarily if there's no schooling system like the present time, the future generation, after listening about us, must be thinking that people living in the past must be very happy. Schooling must have been a fun to them because it was lively, and children must be having a lot of fun in meeting others and interacting with one another, making lots of fun, etc. The title also states the same, the fun they had. Okay, the title here suggests the same thing, the fun they had. Students actually, they had the fun, not we the present, means as per that time, means 2 1 means 2 1 means 2157 in that period, means they are indicating the fun they had in the past. It was quite enjoyable. The things what were happening in the past, it was better, not in the present time. Now let us understand the moral of the message of the lesson. The author's message is one of warning against the dangers of computerized homeschoolings, which keeps away the children from the benefits of the personal interaction between students and teachers, which help them develop social skills as well as many more things. So without criticizing the present schooling, we should understand the value of present lively education system and enjoy it to the fullest. So we must understand and we must enjoy the present system as it is. Okay, so this is the reason, and we must not criticize our present system where we are learning from our teachers. So a time will come we won't be getting that system even. Okay, so let us understand the summary and then we'll go for the discussion of the question answers. Okay, students, this is a recapitulation session or summary. My first video is about the introduction, this message and everything I've shared there. The second video connects to the line-wise explanation. This is the third video, and for you the summary that I am going to present today. On the day of 17th May 2157, Tommy found a real book. He showed it to Margie. Margie was 11 years old. She had never seen a real book before. So she has never seen a real book before. She had once heard from her grandfather about the printed books. So she heard it about the printed books from the grandfather. It was very old book. Its pages had turned yellow and crinkly. Means due to getting old, it has wrinkle has come up, means it has been squeezed, like something has been coming on the page. It is not fresh when you are bringing the book new, so that freshness is lost. They turn it pages and read them. Tommy found it just a waste. Okay, Tommy found it just a waste. They had no printed books. Because they had no printed books, they had the manual book. Okay, the books flashed on the television screen. Okay, like you're watching in the PDFs, ebooks available in the present day. The similar way they used to see the books on the screen. Tommy, who was 13, had read more books on the television screen than Margie. Okay, so Tommy, who is senior to Margie, he is able to read the books on television screen or on the laptops, on the what latest technology or whatever they have read it on that in compared to Margie, because he's senior to her. Tommy told Margie that it was a book about school. Margie always hated school. So that book declares or gives the information about the school. Her school was situated in a room in her home. Okay, so they used to have a school in a room only, and they won't go to any other different place. Okay, it was in the room next to the bedroom. Next to the bedroom, they had a room. Her mechanical teacher flashed on the television screen at the fixed time daily, except on Saturday and Sunday. So they have a fixed time, and that fixed time, particular timing, the mechanical teacher or that robo, okay, I can say, she had to attend it alone. So no other students are there. So she had to attend it alone. The mechanical teacher asked her questions, gave her homework, and checked it. It also checked the assignments, test papers, and awarded them. So the mechanical teacher has this task, means as a human I used to do it. Marge's mechanical teacher had been giving her test after test. So this was the task, and she was bored giving test after test. Marge's performance had been going for O's to O's day by day, means the results of the performance of Margie was bad or poor, we can say. Okay, he set the speed of the mechanical teacher right up to the level. Okay, so the country inspector, okay, her mother called the country inspector, and he is like a mechanic, comes and makes it appropriate, perfect, up to mark, and that Margie can use. Tommy and Margie, Tommy told Margie that hundreds and hundreds years ago, there were old kind of schools. Those schools were situated in special building means for the students, they have to go to some building, and a men teachers taught them. Okay, and there used to be a men teacher, okay, a teacher, and they used to teach to the students. Okay, all the kids of the area went there and learned same things. All of the kids area, means the whole area students, all the students go to the school and they learn. Maji thought it would be great fun to study in those schools. She wanted to read about those books, a funny school. Okay, so she thought that school seems to be very funny. The people in those days are good. Just then, Margie's mother called Margie to attend her school. Margie was reluctant, but she had to go inside her schoolroom uh, non-clankly, means without making any noise, as accepting the mother's instructions. It was right next to her bedroom. Her mechanical teacher was on and waiting for her. Okay, means the mechanical teacher has kept things ready and student will come. The robo will start the teaching on time. It asked Marge to put her homework in the proper slot. Marge did it with a sigh. The mechanical teacher was teaching her the mathematics topic of fraction, but she was thinking about school of old days and the fun they had. So she was recalling those old days and how they had the fun. So this is all about the discussion of summary. Let's move discuss some questions here. Okay. Following is the complete question bank of the fun they had. So here's some questions I'll be discussing. MCQ questions for you. And I expect students to take the screenshots. It will help you. And anytime if you don't want to take screenshot, you can come and visit the this YouTube link and you can enjoy the class, these questions again. On which date Margie make an entry in a diary about the school? 17th May 2156, 17th May 2157, 17th May 2158, and 17th May 2159. The correct answer is 17th May 2157. Yeah, and the answer is here itself. 17th May 2157. Who found a real? So let's see the question number 2. Who found a real book? Tommy, Margie. The correct answer is Tommy. Just a minute. See the next question. What did Margie write about in her diary? A real school, a real teacher, a real book. Tommy, her grandfather. It's about a real school. Okay, so she writes about a real school. Next question. Who told Margie once about her real books? Her father, Tommy, the mechanical teacher, her grandfather. Her grandfather. Okay, who told Margie about once the real book? Her grandfather gave the information about the book. Okay, who were the why were the pages of her books were yellow and stinky? Okay, crinkly. It was a very old book. Its color was yellow. They were yellow because written in yellow ink. None of this. It was very old book. That's the reason it has lost its original color and look. How were the words in the book? Moving steady, getting unprinted after reading. None of this is right. It is steady, it is constant. The words were not moving as they used to move on the screen of the computer. How old was Margie? 10, 11. Then let's see the other options. 12 and then it is 13. The correction option. We have discussed MCQ questions. We'll discuss some very short questions. On what date Margie make an entry in her diary about the real book? She did on the 17th May 157. How old was Margie? She was 11 years old. What did Margie hate? She hated school. What had the mechanical teacher been giving to Margie? The mechanical teacher had been giving test to Margie, giving test to Margie in geography, in the subject that is geography. Okay. So what was wrong with the geography sector of Margie's mechanical teacher? So why did Margie hate slot most? Margie hates slot most because she had to put homework and test papers in it. What do you mean by a regular teacher? It means the mechanical teacher that appears in the television screen at fixed time. What is the name of Margie's mother? Her name is Mrs. Jones. What subject did Tommy learn? He learned history. Okay, the writer name is this. So here are the few questions, students, we have discussed, and I hope you might have enjoyed the today's session and the class. I hope it was a nice session with me. And if you face any difficulties and for discussion of more question answers and a more better understanding, if you want to, I'll be teaching you in Hindi. So you must comment and write it down to me. In the coming days, I'll be discussing in that language too. Okay. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you. And don't forget to like. Thank you.